Pet peeves. By the time your eyes fall upon these words, the summer of 2026 will be winding down. And man, did that go by fast. John Lennon once said, "Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans." Truer words never spoken. As I sit here in Cape Cod and gaze out over a lovely salt marsh, I reflect on how things are going and how they have gone. And I think about how fast things are happening and the struggle to find a way to slow things down. For those of you who can relate, I might suggest meditation. I had the occasion to hang out with the nomad monk who was at the Manchester Community Library a few weeks ago. He led a small group in a meditation session. It was perhaps one of the best things I've ever done. Time gets pretty crazy when you meditate. But even meditating cannot dissuade me from thinking about the variety of things that I find either annoying, disturbing, or simply drive me nuts. Some refer to these things as pet peeves. I don't care much what you call them. I'd be more interested in finding a way to alleviate and or eliminate them. Here's my list in no particular order, and I bet you'll have a few more that you could add to them. Number 1, pedestrians walking the wrong way on the road. At a very young age, I was taught by my mom that whenever I walked on the road, I was to always walk facing the traffic. I was never to turn my back on motor vehicles. Today, at least 50% of the people I encounter walking on the road are walking with traffic. Who raised these people? As if walking with your back to oncoming traffic isn't bad enough, I really get annoyed when a group of 2 or more people are walking blindly in the middle of the road. Perhaps the thought process is that if they're going to get run over, they don't want to know about it in advance. I couldn't hate them for that. Number 2, toothpaste. Do we really need to be told to squeeze toothpaste starting from the bottom of the tube? Seriously? Also, have you noticed that the new toothpaste no longer rolls up? It's all stiff. What's up with that? Number 3, the TV remote control. I have a thing about knowing where my remote control is for my TV. I always keep it on the table right next to where I sit to watch TV. And I bet you do too. I hate wasting what little time I have left hunting for the darn thing. However, whenever the grandkids show up, I can spend hours searching for it, my remote control. More often than not, I end up finding it stuffed way down inside a piece of furniture. When I raise this issue with any one of my 4 grandchildren, I get that vacant stare that implies they are contemplating the creation of the universe, and they can't. And why can't they see the dark side of the moon? Next, tariffs. Yeah, so about this obsession the president has with tariffs, along with multiple vanity projects and endless wars. Have you all figured out by now that tariffs are nothing more than the largest sales tax imposed on Americans in our history? Think about it. The president willy-nilly decides one morning at 2 a.m. that he doesn't like Canada because they said something unflattering about him. So he decides to tax Canada on their goods coming into America. Great. The tax revenues theoretically go to our treasury. Well, that's great too. The additional cost is put on our businesses, who rightfully, in turn, pass those costs on to who? You guessed it, you. That would be a freaking sales tax. Funny how I mistakenly thought that the party in power today was the party of no new taxes. My next pet peeve is endless wars. After 75 years of being on this planet, I sort of thought we might have learned something, anything, from the Vietnam War. But nope. I watched Russia go into Afghanistan and fight there for nearly a decade. They were smart enough to pull out. And so America went in for 2 decades. One might think that it'd be a good old slap upside the head, but no. Now the president, on his own, with no valid explanation, has taken it upon himself to start a war with Iran. Does he not have a clue of the implications of his actions? It would seem to me as though Stevie Wonder could see that this was A, a bad decision, and B, a war that will go on for generations. Not secretly putting the tops on jars is my next pet peeve. Nothing more annoying than picking up a jar by the lid only to have the contents splatter all over your feet. Now, upon further investigation, I have just determined that on the new impossible to roll up from the bottom tube of Crest toothpaste, that they have now eliminated the language describing how you're supposed to extract toothpaste by rolling up the tube from the bottom. I guess I shouldn't be so cynical. We're making some progress. Happy end of summer. Fall is coming right up and we'll be stuck in the snow with our all-seasons tires that are really just summer tires with a little better grip. We'll be stuck in no time. I'm Bob Stannard and this is the view from my place. Thanks for watching.